question is whether India could become another superpower. I don't know if they mean the only superpower or another superpower. And I will say not in a million years. When you look into history, from Egypt way on to Germany, you could see how nations became superpower. We have Nebuchadnezzar dreaming about this image, and God gave Daniel the understanding and went in and taught Nebuchadnezzar what the whole image meant. Now he said that the head of gold is you, and after you another empire will come on, which was the Medes and the Persians, and after the Medes and the Persians another, which was the bronze, that would be Greece, and after iron will come on, and that would be Rome, and after that it would be iron and clay. Now there are several things that happened making these nations to become superpower. The other nations were very oppressive and creating so much trouble that they had to overthrow them to become superpowers. But after Rome fell, it would seem as if that would be the last only superpower. After that, it's iron and clay, so it's either going to be two. I don't know what the iron and the clay mean, but they're going to be at least two, or more than two. And so it was the Germans that beat off the Romans, the various Germanic people, the Huns, the Ostrogoths, the Anglo-Saxons, and so on. So that in de facto, Germany was not necessarily the only, but it was ruling because they took all the intelligence and all the learning from the Romans, who had taken from the previous ones, so they had advanced information and they had a very sophisticated society, which culminated in Hitler coming to power and had all those advanced ammunition and those great scientists and so forth, and then they were distributed among the Allies after the Second World War. So from Germany, who had beaten Rome, came America. Well, of course, there was America, France, England, and some others, Russia, and some others. And then we had America and Russia as the two superpowers. Soviet Union. Soviet Union gone now with Russia. I don't think they're talking in terms now. America's the only superpower. So how could India come and pass all these first world countries when India just was a third world the other day? It's developing, and now they're projecting that they're going to be sort of a superpower. Basically, when you look at the cultural analysis of India, you want to look at, first of all, the politics. Well, they had this thing, the bombing of the leaders and so on, and they appointed a Sikh, which was a revolution because the Hindus are the majority, and they were able to appoint a Sikh. The economy just a couple of years ago was kind of like the real third world, but because the West and especially America saw that there was cheap labor over there and people were willing to work hard, etc., they exported businesses over there to just make the money and so forth. So now they began to do some manufacturing and some other economic activities, and they're prospering, and it looks as if they're going to rise to be a first world country or superpower, but I don't think that's possible. Then war. They have this no-win war with Pakistan over there. They can't win. They just keep back and forth. And sports, they don't seem to have established much in sports except with cricket. They're doing fine. But I think the most important thing they have going for them is education, in which this is where they're excelling. Now, they have the British style of education. Now, I would say that I've studied in both British and American education, and I think the American education has the edge, because all the specialty you could do, you still need a little broader thing to be able to function properly. But India, with its religion and so forth, has been for the longest while with over 300 gods. By the way, those other nations that came to power, they were just focusing on one god, and perhaps the creator of the world. I don't know who all these gods represent in India, but there's no one god over there. And over time, they were able to somehow influence the West, especially America. They have the Beatles who went over there to get the wisdoms from the holy men over there, and some others. Now, they exported things like yoga and transcendental meditation and other parts of Hinduism and so forth. And many celebrities, so-called celebrities, went and joined Michael Jackson and some others. But they have had a history of this multi-god thing. So they are on the multi-god side. The Western America had this one god situation, and now that America now is moving towards this incorporating their religious thing here, they seem to be doing better. But then education is different. Our educational philosophy, which says that you don't have to know the stuff, just know where to find it, is what is dominant here. So a guy could graduate with a bachelor's degree, but he doesn't know anything because he just know where to find it. In India, the guys from early realize that at 11 you need to know exactly what you want to do. So you could be channeled either with free education, your parents will support you and go to high school. And then if you do exceptionally well, you do 2 more years in high school. And the top of the line will go to Oxford, London, or Cambridge, or other top universities around the world. And so they have a very special, they work hard in education. They spend, I ask high school students here that I teach, how long, what amount of time do you spend per week to study? And they say 0, but yet they're on the honor roll. In India, these guys spend at least 20 hours a week. So they're very good at it. And recently what I saw is that scientists, engineers, and computer persons, when they graduate here and they don't know anything, they have to go down to India, to Gujarat or whatever, and then you see these people in the sari teaching them. And some of the ladies are so impressed with the teaching they're having over in India that they're dressing in sari and putting all these earrings in the ears and dressing this thing on the forehead, that ash kind of red thing. They're doing all that. So this is only what's happening because we have slacked up on our education, and because we saw cheaper labor over there. We give them the manufacturing, do all the dirty work and pay us. And we have incorporated their religion in our lives now, which making us just like them. And the funny thing is that when you're with the true God and you join these other religions over here, it's going to be worse for you. They who have had a tradition in it will fare better because Satan will not lose them. But he's scared you would lose the West, these Americans. So when you join in that Indian mix up there, you're lost. You're going around in circles, you don't know where you're at. So they're coming on and being good doctors and engineers and teachers and all that stuff, and so we're losing our minds. And it looks as if we're going to lose our place, but I don't think India will become no superpower. All the West has to do is stop buying things from them, bring back all the jobs from India, and they're gone. I mean, the majority of their people are poor. They don't have the rights that the West has, and various other things like infrastructure and a legal system whereby the wealth could be, people could move up and all this, have these caste systems and so forth. So I think they have so many things basically that will militate against them even thriving without this abundant cheap labor they have over there, folks, given the jobs to be manufactured, etc. over there. I don't think they have what it takes to be a superpower. So this is just because the whole world is now going and being like India in these multi-god, piercing our nose, our ears, joining the yoga and all this transcendental meditation. They are going to be ahead of us. But we don't have that much time. It will take another 200 years for them to become superpower. We don't have all that time, because with this image in Daniel here, we are almost down to the feet of iron and clay. And so 50 years, 25 years, I don't know how long. Some people saying 2012. I don't know how long, but I don't think it's going to be 200 years, and I don't think India is going to have a chance to really come and win nothing. They're going to just be either this is going to be the best and they'll go back to where they had been, but I don't think they could advance close to being a superpower.